Gentlemen, today I want to introduce you to a powerful, science-backed morning elixir that can be an absolute game changer for your health, particularly when it comes to chronic inflammation and vascular function. Taken first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, this blend supports reduced inflammation, improved circulation, and enhanced immune response, setting your entire day on the right path physically, mentally, and yes, even sexually. Yes, gentlemen, you heard that correctly. This simple drink may also help support stronger, firmer erections and assist in reversing erectile dysfunction, especially when that dysfunction is linked to poor vascular health and restricted blood flow. Let me explain exactly how this works and why it matters so much for men over 50. I'm Dr. Lila Romano, a board-certified urologist with over a decade of experience specializing in men's sexual health. In my practice, I've seen thousands of men told their only options are pills, like Viagra or Cialis, painful injections, or accepting decline as normal aging. But conventional medicine overlooks the root cause of erectile dysfunction in most men over 50, chronic vascular inflammation and compromised blood flow. Everything I'm about to share is backed by peer-reviewed research. I'll cite specific studies, explain the exact mechanisms at the cellular level, and give you a simple protocol you can start tomorrow morning. This isn't about masking symptoms with a temporary pharmaceutical fix. This is about addressing the underlying vascular and hormonal issues that cause erectile problems in the first place. Stay with me because what you're about to learn could change your life. Now, let's talk about inflammation. Inflammation is not a medical buzzword. It's a hidden, destructive force that underlies many chronic conditions men deal with daily. From joint pain and chronic fatigue to digestive issues and lowered immunity, chronic inflammation makes it harder for your body to perform optimally. But what many men don't realize is that erectile dysfunction is often an early warning sign of cardiovascular compromise. If you're struggling with maintaining firm, reliable erections, it's not a problem below the belt. It's a red flag pointing to restricted blood flow, damaged blood vessels, and internal inflammation, particularly in the tiny arteries of the penis known as the penile microvasculature. I had a patient recently, a fit 58-year-old man who came to me completely exhausted. He was waking up 3 to 4 times every night to urinate. His erections had become weak and inconsistent. He felt drained by 2 in the afternoon, even after a full night's sleep. When we ran his blood work, his inflammation markers were through the roof. His C-reactive protein was elevated, his endothelial function was compromised, and his arteries were stiff from years of chronic, low-grade inflammation. I know this is frustrating. You might feel embarrassed, worried, or hopeless. You might think this is what happens when you get older. But here's the good news. Your body is capable of healing when given the right tools, the right fuel, and the right environment. Let me introduce you to these science-supported ingredients that fight inflammation at the cellular level, enhance blood flow, balance hormones, and create a holistic remedy for both general health and sexual vitality. We begin with turmeric and specifically its active compound, curcumin. Curcumin has been extensively studied for decades, and it offers profound anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects that are almost unmatched in the natural world. A 2017 study published in the journal Nutrition research found that curcumin supplementation improved endothelial function by 36% in just 8 weeks. Another study from phytotherapy research in 2019 showed that curcumin was as effective as moderate-intensity exercise in improving vascular function. Let that sink in for a moment. A simple plant compound performed as well as regular exercise for improving the health of your blood vessels. Here's what happens at the cellular level. Curcumin inhibits an enzyme called NF-kappa B. Think of this enzyme as the master switch for inflammation in your body. When you turn off this switch, you dramatically reduce the production of inflammatory cytokines. These are the chemical messengers that damage the delicate arterial linings throughout your body. But Curcumin also increases the activity of nitric oxide synthase, which is the enzyme your body uses to create nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is absolutely critical for erectile function. It's the molecule that tells the smooth muscle cells in your penile arteries to relax, allowing blood to rush in and fill the erectile chambers, creating a firm, reliable erection. This is crucial for men dealing with erectile dysfunction because healthy endothelial function, that's the function of the cells lining your blood vessels, is needed for the arteries in the penis to fully relax and allow blood to flow freely during arousal. Curcumin helps clear away the inflammatory debris and protects the inner walls of your arteries, including those tiny, highly sensitive arteries supplying the penis. This is a key step toward firmer, stronger, more dependable erections. But here's the challenge. Curcumin alone has terrible bioavailability. Less than 1% of the curcumin you consume actually makes it into your bloodstream if you take it by itself. That's why we need our next ingredients to unlock its full potential. Next, we incorporate extra virgin olive oil. Now, this isn't just a heart-healthy cooking oil you drizzle on your salad. It's a medicinal fat with profound effects on vascular health, hormone production, and male sexual function. Olive oil contains a phenolic compound called oleocanthal, which exerts anti-inflammatory effects similar to non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, but without the dangerous side effects like gastrointestinal damage or increased cardiovascular risk. It also contains oleic acid, a monounsaturated fat that directly supports testosterone production in the Leydig cells of your testicles. Here's where it gets really interesting for male sexual health. A groundbreaking 2013 study, published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, found that men who consumed extra virgin olive oil daily for just 3 weeks increased their testosterone levels by 17.4%. And we know that testosterone isn't just about desire and libido. It's also essential for maintaining the structural integrity of erectile tissue, for preserving muscle mass, for regulating mood and energy, and for supporting overall vitality. Researchers from the University of Athens tracked 660 men with metabolic syndrome who followed a Mediterranean diet rich in olive oil. After just 2 years, 40% of those men reported significant, sustained improvements in erectile function, improvements that lasted without the need for medication. But here's another critical benefit of olive oil in this formula: the healthy monounsaturated fats dramatically improve the absorption of curcumin. They create what's called a lipid-soluble suspension that protects curcumin from being destroyed by your stomach acid and allows it to reach the tissues where it's needed most. Now, quality matters here. Look for extra virgin, cold-pressed olive oil in dark glass bottles. Brands like Cola Vita, Kirkland Organic, or California Olive Ranch are excellent, verified choices that have been tested for purity and potency. Now, let's add the absorption amplifier that takes this drink from helpful to truly extraordinary: black pepper. It may seem minor, almost like an afterthought, but it's active. Compound piperine is what transforms the bioavailability of everything else you're consuming. A landmark study from St. John's Medical College in India found that piperine increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. That's not a typo, gentlemen. 2,000%. Without black pepper, your body eliminates most of the curcumin you consume within about 30 minutes before it ever has a chance to do its healing work. Here's how it works mechanically. Piperine slows down an enzyme in your liver called glucuronidation. This enzyme normally breaks down and eliminates curcumin rapidly before it can exert its therapeutic effects on your vascular system. By inhibiting this enzyme, piperine keeps curcumin circulating actively in your bloodstream for up to 6 hours instead of just 30 minutes. That extended circulation time means the anti-inflammatory compounds can reach your vascular system, penetrate your penile tissue, and repair your endothelial cells where they do their most important healing work. This combination, turmeric, olive oil, and black pepper, is a scientifically optimized trio specifically designed to fight inflammation, support healthy blood flow, balance your hormones, and restore erectile function naturally. You only need a tiny pinch of black pepper, about an eighth of a teaspoon or roughly 20 milligrams. More is not better here. Too much can irritate your stomach lining. Optionally, for a brighter, more pleasant flavor and powerful additional vascular support, you can add a small squeeze of fresh orange juice to this drink. And this isn't just about making it taste better. The vitamin C in orange juice provides direct, measurable benefits for erectile function. Vitamin C is a cofactor for nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme that produces nitric oxide. That means your body literally cannot produce nitric oxide efficiently without adequate vitamin C in your system. And remember, nitric oxide is the key biological messenger, the master signal that tells the blood vessels in your penis to relax and engorge with blood, creating a firm, full erection. A 2015 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that 500 milligrams of vitamin C daily significantly improved arterial elasticity in men with atherosclerosis, which is hardening of the arteries. Vitamin C works by protecting the delicate endothelial lining of your blood vessels from oxidative damage. Think of it as preventing the rust that stiffens and damages your arterial walls over time. Fresh squeezed orange juice is ideal because it contains bioflavonoids that work synergistically with vitamin C to enhance its effects. If you can't get fresh orange juice, use high-quality bottled juice with no added sugar. So yes, something as simple and accessible as vitamin C plays a direct, scientifically validated role in supporting sexual health and erectile function. Now let me give you the exact recipe and preparation method so you can start this protocol tomorrow morning and begin experiencing the benefits. Here's exactly what you need. 1/4 teaspoon of high-quality turmeric powder. I recommend brands like Simply Organic or Frontier Co-op, which are widely available and verified for purity. Or, if you prefer, you can use about 1/2 inch of fresh, peeled, grated turmeric root, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, 1 cup of comfortably warm water, not hot, ideally around 110 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit, a small pinch of freshly ground black pepper, about an eighth of a teaspoon, and optional but highly recommended, a splash of fresh orange juice, about 2 to 3 tablespoons for flavor. And that vitamin C boost. Here's how to prepare it step by step. First, mix the turmeric and olive oil together in your cup until you form a smooth, consistent blend. This creates what's called a lipid-soluble suspension. The fat from the olive oil coats the curcumin molecules, protecting them from being destroyed by your stomach acid and dramatically enhancing their absorption into your bloodstream. Next, add the warm water and stir thoroughly. The temperature is important here. Use warm water, not hot. Hot water above 140 degrees can degrade some of the beneficial phenolic compounds in olive oil. Cold water won't mix properly, and the drink will separate into an unpleasant, oily mess. Then, sprinkle in the black pepper and stir again to distribute it evenly. Finally, if you're using orange juice, add it now for a brighter flavor and that powerful vascular benefit from vitamin C. Drink this slowly, ideally first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, about 30 to 45 minutes, before you eat breakfast. Here's why this timing matters so much. The warmth of the water and the emptiness of your digestive system help ensure that the active compounds pass quickly into your small intestine, where nutrient absorption is optimized. On an empty stomach, curcumin absorption is about 40% higher compared to taking it with a full meal. Wait at least 15 minutes after drinking this before you eat anything to allow the compounds to enter your bloodstream without interference. Now, here's what not to do. Don't drink coffee immediately after taking this drink. The tannins in coffee can bind to curcumin and significantly reduce its absorption. And don't take this at the same time as calcium supplements. Calcium competes with curcumin for the same absorption pathways in your intestines, reducing the effectiveness of both. If the earthy taste of turmeric is Too strong for your preference, you can add 1 teaspoon of raw honey to sweeten it naturally. Honey won't spike your blood sugar the way refined sugar does, and it actually adds its own anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial benefits to the formula. I had a patient in his early 60s who started this exact protocol. Within just 3 weeks, he told me his morning erections were starting to come back, something he hadn't experienced regularly in over 2 years. By 8 weeks of consistent daily use, he reported firm, reliable erections during intimacy for the first time in 5 years. His energy was better, his joint pain had decreased, and he felt mentally sharper throughout the day. Now let me explain the underlying science so you understand exactly what's happening inside your body when you drink this every morning. Erectile function depends on 4 critical systems working together in perfect harmony. Healthy endothelial cells lining your blood vessels, adequate nitric oxide production, optimal testosterone levels, and unimpeded blood flow through the cavernous penile arteries. This drink addresses all 4 systems simultaneously. Let's start with endothelial function. Your endothelium is the thin, delicate layer of cells that lines all of your blood vessels, from your largest arteries down to the tiniest capillaries. When your endothelium is healthy and functioning properly, it produces nitric oxide smoothly and responds instantly to arousal signals from your nervous system. When it's inflamed, damaged, and dysfunctional, it becomes stiff and unresponsive. The curcumin in this drink directly repairs and protects your endothelium through its powerful anti-inflammatory action, allowing your blood vessels to regain their flexibility and responsiveness. Next, nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is the master molecule for achieving and maintaining erections. It signals the smooth muscle cells embedded in the walls of your penile arteries to relax. When those smooth muscle cells relax, the arteries open wide, blood rushes into the spongy erectile chambers called the corpora cavernosa, and you achieve a firm erection. Without adequate nitric oxide, you simply cannot get a full, rigid erection, no matter how mentally or emotionally aroused you are. This is a physiological requirement. Third, testosterone support. Testosterone isn't just about sexual desire and libido, though those are important. It's also essential for maintaining the structural integrity and health of your erectile tissue itself. The healthy monounsaturated fats in olive oil provide the raw materials, the molecular building blocks that your Leydig cells need to synthesize testosterone efficiently. And finally, inflammation reduction. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is like rust slowly corroding your pipes. It narrows your arteries, damages delicate vascular tissue, and prevents your body's natural healing mechanisms from working properly. By addressing inflammation every single day with this anti-inflammatory elixir, you're giving your entire vascular system, including your heart, your brain, and your penis, the chance to repair itself and function the way it's designed. 2. And here's what many men don't realize. The tiny arteries in the penis, because they're so small and delicate, are often the very first blood vessels in your body to show signs of vascular trouble. Erectile dysfunction is frequently the earliest detectable warning sign of cardiovascular disease. Addressing inflammation early and naturally like this doesn't just benefit your sex life. It may also significantly lower your risk for heart attack and stroke down the road. Now, before you start this protocol tomorrow morning, there are a few important safety considerations you need to know. If you're currently taking blood thinners like warfarin, Plavix, or even daily aspirin, talk to your doctor before starting this drink. Turmeric has mild anticoagulant effects, which means it can thin your blood slightly. When combined with prescription blood thinners, this could potentially increase your risk of bleeding. If you have gallstones or any kind of bile duct obstruction, you should avoid turmeric because it stimulates bile production, which could worsen your condition. If you suffer from gastroesophageal reflux disease or chronic GERD, start with a lower dose of turmeric, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon, because turmeric can sometimes worsen reflux symptoms in sensitive individuals. Some men experience mild stomach upset or slightly loose stools during the first few days as their digestive system adjusts. If this happens to you, simply reduce the turmeric to an eighth of a teaspoon and gradually increase the amount over the course of a week as your body adapts. And listen, if you have persistent erectile dysfunction that's been going on for more than 3 months, you need a comprehensive medical evaluation. Erectile dysfunction can be an early warning sign of undiagnosed diabetes, cardiovascular disease, sleep apnea, or significant hormonal imbalances that require treatment. This drink is powerful and evidence-based, but it's not a replacement for proper medical diagnosis and appropriate treatment when necessary. Always use high-quality, preferably organic ingredients to ensure you're getting maximum purity and therapeutic benefit without contaminants. Now let me set realistic expectations about when you'll start noticing changes, because I don't want you to expect overnight miracles. This is a healing process, not a magic pill. In the first week, many men notice improved sleep quality and slightly more stable energy levels. Throughout the day, you might also notice reduced joint stiffness when you wake up or less digestive bloating as systemic inflammation begins to decrease. By weeks 2 to 4, you should start noticing stronger, more frequent morning erections. This is one of the most reliable early signs that blood flow to your penile tissue is genuinely improving. Your energy levels will feel more consistent and sustained without that frustrating afternoon crash that so many men experience. At 6 to 8 weeks, most men who use this drink consistently every single morning report significant improvements in erectile firmness and duration during intimacy. You may also notice better recovery after exercise and improved mental clarity and focus throughout your day. At the 3-month mark, if you've been truly consistent with this protocol, you should see the maximum benefits. Your inflammation markers, if you were to get comprehensive blood work done, should be noticeably lower. Many of my patients report feeling and performing sexually like they did 10 or even 15 years earlier. The key word here, gentlemen, is consistency. This isn't a quick pharmaceutical fix that works for 4 hours and then wears off. This is a daily practice that supports long-term vascular health, hormonal balance, and sexual function from the inside out. Now here's my challenge to you. Commit to this exact protocol for 30 full days, without skipping. Take note right now, today, of your current energy levels, how your erections feel, how you perform during intimacy, how you feel when you wake up in the morning. Write it down if you need to. Then check back in honestly after 30 days and assess the difference. I think you'll be genuinely surprised by what your body is capable of when you give it the right support, the right fuel, and the right environment to heal. Share this video with family and friends, especially those who may be silently struggling with inflammation, poor circulation, or erectile dysfunction. Sometimes the men who need this information the most are too embarrassed to ask for it. I am Dr. Lila Romano, and I'll see you in the next video.